Great, okay.
Hello, welcome to the brilliant North East Art Collective in Eldon Garden in Newcastle, and this is a big hello. I'm very excited to meet the chat of Darren Mundy, who is one of the most popular artists in the North East, and certainly here at the Art Collective. More new work from you here.
Indeed, yeah.
Snuggled in the middle of some of your classics. So, which are you most excited about? Which have you enjoyed?
Well, the newest one I've just brought in, Alfie, is this particular one, the Angel, which has always been a sort of a firm favourite, to be honest, with customers. From all the years of being in the gallery, it seems that the Angel, understandably, because we're in the North East, we're in Newcastle, it seems to be one that sort of is always proved to be a big seller. So obviously, because I'm sort of artist of the month, this month, which is a good thing, I've been sort of kept busy doing paintings. The gallery's been doing quite well with the sales, which is always a good thing. And I thought I'll just bring a new one in today of the Angel. Yeah.
I think you are one of the great sellers here because, well, you're brilliant, you're really good, but you've got such a concrete style. You know what a Darren Mundy is, you know what one looks like, because you've created this world. How did that happen? When did you think, I'm onto something here, I've got a world and I've ended up in it?
Yeah, it was very intentional, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't by accident. I sort of, it's about 11 years ago now, I sort of started the idea of wanting to be a full-time artist.
Yeah.
11, 12 years ago. Having been a graphic designer for many years previous to that, and still doing graphic design at the time, I decided that I wanted to be a full-time artist because I've always drawn and painted previously, and I knew I had to find or define a style. That was always the intention. So I didn't go in sort of blindly thinking, let's see what happens here.
You had a plan?
I had a plan, definitely, and I visited lots of the big galleries, a lot of the published artist galleries like Washington Green, like the Castle Galleries on Grey Street, and de Montfort, another big art publisher. I looked at what was out there in terms of artists' work and how they styled their work, how they framed their work even.
Yeah.
Everything was almost like it sounds horrible in art world, but like a formula, let's say, to make everything look uniform, make everything look unique, and make everything look like a collection. I think that was the key, a collection. So whenever I produce a piece of work, it was going to be very much
fit that mold.
It would look like one of mine. Yeah.
What were you doing just before you made those decisions? What sort of things would have people seen just before?
Nothing. Prior to doing Hilltown, there was nothing existing in terms of the Hilltown look.
Yeah.
I'd just finished a series of like sort of like landscapes, modern, abstract landscapes prior to doing this work, and then prior to that, I was doing like celebrity portraits, which I was selling through like fanzines and things like that. So it was very different, completely, nothing similar in terms of style, very different. So the intention of going full time was one of
concentrated,
needing to know what was, being very commercial about it, I guess. You know, so I didn't slip into a by chance. It was too much of a risk really, because I just purchased a house.
Launching your career.
A young kid, which had just been born, my second child, Henry. So it was very much a case of like making sure that things worked.
And have the audience, your fans and the buyers, increased that world and added to that world with their requests and, oh, I love Hilltown, but could you do this in Hilltown? Could you do that in Hilltown?
Exactly. That's exactly what happened, because I never intended, if I'm really honest, I never intended Hilltown to be North East, like iconography, as it is with the Angel. And the Angel, the Sycamore Gap, obviously, and even the Whitley Bay Dome. I live in Whitley Bay, which I think is what led itself to that one. I never intended any northeast iconography. Hilltown was supposed to be a place which was quite generic, let's say, which every picture was appealing to as many people as possible. So by adding in things like the Angel, it's a very divisive beast, you know, some people love it and hate it. So I was keeping everything quite generic with the content, but then people were sort of saying, have you got one with the Angel? I thought, I'll try one, and I did that one. That was the first one I did with the Angel, which was Star of the North, and then that sold out of the print run, the limited edition print run. And so I thought, well, that's obviously proven very popular. So I did a few more Angel pieces, and again, similar. They were proven very popular. So I think the sort of the iconography of the North East has crept in by people asking to some degree, and then the commission work sort of like came on top of that.
And is nearly all your commission work or all your commission work Hilltown? Or do you still get the random? Actually, you do something totally different.
I get the odd picture. I had one of Mount Fuji not long ago from a customer who has a Hilltown picture anyway, but then said, "Oh, can you paint me it was a painting, general picture painting of Mount Fuji." Which was not Hilltown related, I had to say, do you want to have Hilltown houses in? Which was like, no, I just want it to be normal, because I'm so used to painting the houses. I think it was a natural assumption I would just throw a house in there, but no, she didn't want that. So I do get the occasional request for commission, which isn't Hilltown related, but I would say, 95% of what I paint is Hilltown, because people have, luckily, for me, bought into the concept of Hilltown, the storytelling aspect of it, and obviously I guess the styling of it, because it's got a
so
style.
I've never seen anyone do anything like it, and it's just a huge congratulations for coming up with something so definite and original. And do you see this as, this is it, this is you way into the future, or do you think I might do 10 more years of Hilltown and maybe then try another creation?
What I do is I go through periods when I'm in the studio painting, and I'll do maybe, I don't know, I could do a batch of like 10, 20 paintings of Hilltown, and I thought I almost have a bit of a burnout in that I think, right, I've done the Hilltown, let's move on, and I have a period, a very short period of needing to do other styles of painting.
Sketches, a couple of paintings.
Yeah, it's sort of like, say it's a bit more abstract, or I do some animal pictures, animal paintings.
Yeah.
Just a release from doing the Hilltown work, because it's more intense than the other work I do.
Yeah.
And I like having a loose sort of painting style as well, and I can't get away with that too much with the Hilltown. So I love doing the Hilltown, it's the bulk of what I do. I do love painting.
You need a holiday away from Hilltown every night.
I do, yeah, I definitely need that. Yeah.
And then you've got to go back.
I've got to revisit Hilltown, because it's by far the most popular. I think that's the key. It's the most popular, but I do occasionally need to have a holiday away from it, like you say.
Yeah. And just for people who haven't seen it up close, which is the best way to see it, you might have seen it on various online forums or websites, but do try and see Darren's work real, or purchase it for yourself. What do you work with mainly?
In terms of material, it's acrylic.
Yeah.
I paint in acrylic. My first couple of Hilltowns I did try oils.
I was going to say, it's so vivid, it could be oil.
Yeah, I did use oils on the first couple, and they were taking ages to dry, and I was quite impatient. And again, it goes back to that principle of what am I doing. When I started off doing the pictures, I had a plan, and I thought, if I'm going to paint X pictures,
turn them out.
And I don't want to become a factory, don't get me wrong, but I knew obviously to make a living out of it, which was the intention. It wasn't going to be a hobby. It was never going to be a hobby. It was always going to be a job.
Business. You're a one-man band. There's not a team of you. You've got to churn.
It was always going to be a job. I didn't call it a job. Painting pictures. So I very quickly, within weeks, thought, nah, oil's on for me. Plus it was like a clean up, or smell. Could be bothered. I thought I can get what I need in terms of colour, which is what my work's about. And I don't really mix colour, and that's how people say, how do you get your colours vibrant?
You stick with the ones you have.
If there's a range of 20 colours, for example, on the palette, I will mix one here and mix one here to get that one. I'll just buy that colour. I'll get that's a colour. That's a colour. That's a colour. There's no mixing of colour, because I think by mixing it muddies them a little bit. And I think
so vivid. That's why it's vivid.
I think you buy the sort of like not the most expensive brands, but you buy the sort of in between brands, let's say. And I think with that you get quite a rich pigment, and I think the rich pigment gives the vibrancy. And I think that's why the colours are always quite bright. I think
Amazing. Well, get yourself down to the Northeast Art Collective, and welcome to the world of Darren Mundy and Hilltown. What a brilliant creation. Brilliant.
Thanks, Alfie. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.